Hello, and welcome back to Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails. Today, I'm going to go over a rum that I was able to pick up in a duty-free shop. Otherwise, you can't find it in the United States. But this is the actual Havana Club from Cuba. And this happens to be the 7 Años, or 7-year version. Stay with me as we try this rum and use it in a couple of great cocktails. Hello and welcome back to Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails. We are going to try a rum from Cuba. Of course, that was going to be Havana Club. The Havana Club name in the United States is being used by, and I guess owned by, Bacardi. There's a lot of lawsuits that have gone back and forth trying to get that name back by the company who is in Cuba. But in the United States, what you find on the shelf is actually a Bacardi rum. So it's not made in Cuba. But we can't get stuff from Cuba here in the States. So I happened to be in a duty-free shop on the way back from our trip last December and decided that I needed to pick up a bottle of an actual Cuban rum to be able to try in some of the recipes that I have. So I had just cracked the top, but I haven't tried it yet. I actually had some of their base spirit. I think it's a 3-year aged, or maybe less than that, when I was in Austria. But this one is a 7-year aged product, and I'm pretty sure that it's pretty good. And I may have actually tried it in a restaurant, but let's check this out and see what it tastes like, and then we will make a cocktail, a couple of cocktails. Definitely, it has an aged rum smell to it on the nose. Get maybe a little bit of tobacco, fruity, some vanilla and spice. See what this tastes like, and see whether all those things also come through on the palate. You definitely get a tobacco taste and a little bit of spices. Not really catching too much of the vanilla, but it's in there a little bit. Um, Maybe some fruit, some tropical fruits, maybe some molasses, but really I do get, maybe it's just my palate today, but I do get a lot of that kind of a tobacco-y taste to this, which is decent, especially if you're just sipping this. But we're going to make a couple cocktails, and let me pause for a moment because I've got to get the glasses out. But we're going to make sure I get these names correct. But the first one is a Canchanchara, if that's pronounced correctly, and the second one is Seoka or Seoko. Again, not promising I'm pronouncing that right or what language that's coming from, but those are ones that I'd found online. Have not made them yet, but we're going to check these out together. Unfortunately, these were had measurements in milliliters, so I'll have to do a little bit of conversion. And I just have this OXO measuring cup or measuring 2-ounce device that does not have milliliters. So I'm going to have to convert in my mind as I'm going through this. But this is something that I think both of these cocktails are supposed to be pretty good. So let's try this out after I get the glasses to put these in. Okay, so I do have glasses for these drinks, and this first one, again, the Canchanchara, I think, is 50 milliliters, which is almost, it's about 2 ounces and 2/3. So we'll do, sorry, 1 ounce and 2/3. So we'll do about 1 2/3 ounces. And then 20 milliliters of honey water. This is supposed to be a 2-to-1 honey water, but because this is low carbs, I do have this honey cinnamon syrup, which is probably closer to a 1-to-1 taste for honey. But I don't know what they use to make it taste like honey, but it has no carbs. So we'll just use this, and 20 milliliters is 2/3 of an ounce. Then there is fresh lime juice, and I just squeezed this a little bit ago. So that is also 2/3 of an ounce, or 20 milliliters. And I'm spilling it, but pour it a little faster. Then, after putting in the honey water, you normally would put the honey in and then a little bit of water to do the 2-to-1 and make sure it's all dissolved before you make the rest of the drink. But if you already have it prepared, and I do have some 1-to-1 honey syrup that I use periodically, but then you get the carbs from that. But I find that this even though it's got the cinnamon, helps with the sweetness also, that extra cinnamon taste usually is pretty good in most drinks. And then we stir. Typical bar spoon. Need to make sure that I put things away and don't let somebody else do it, otherwise it gets lost, not where I expect it to be. Then top the glass with ice, and then add a splash of sparkling water. And it's only supposed to be a splash, so I won't put too much in. The ingredients list says to top, but then in the instructions it only says a splash. So just put a little bit. That way it doesn't dilute the drink too much. And these are dehydrated. They do have some seeds in it, so you have to be careful of that. But just because it's just a garnish, kind of try to split it and put it on the glass so it looks pretty. But there we have, make sure it's mixed well. There we have a Canchanchara. See what this tastes like. That's very good. The honey syrup that I use, that is no carb, actually does sweeten this up quite a bit. I really like that. So that's the first drink. The second one is Sayoko, I think. And with that, we also have 50 milliliters of the Havana Club 7 years, which again was about 1 2/3. And on this one, it says to fill a glass with ice, so I went ahead and did put a little bit of ice in there. "100 milliliters of fresh coconut water." Well, I don't have fresh coconut water, but I do have Vita Coco. Now, I do have two kinds here. This Vita Coco is 1 serving of this is this whole thing of, this is about 11.1 full ounces, and it's about 11 carbs. I also have this Vita Coco pressed coconut water, which I think has more of the coconut in it. Probably tastes a little bit better, but it has, for 8 ounces, is 12 grams of carbs. So with this, each ounce would be about 1.5, and this one is about 1 carb per ounce. So we'll put in 100 milliliters. It's going to be 3 1/3 ounce. So there's 2 there. Three and about 1/3. And I'll probably open this next time I make something and check that out. I'm guessing that's going to taste a little bit better, but it will be a little sweeter. But for 100 milliliters, which is about 3 1/3 ounces, is going to be around 3 grams of carbs. Not very much. And then 25 milliliters, which is approximately just under an ounce of lime juice. Then we'll finish that, top that off with some ice. And then lime wedge, but in this case it'll be a dehydrated lime wheel. For the garnish. And there is Sayoko. That is pretty good too. I like the other one. It's a little sweeter, but this tastes pretty good. It's basically a rum and coconut water, which is, I think, a popular thing down in South America, but definitely good. So the Cuban Havana Club and a couple of very good cocktails that you can make with it. And that is it for this week. If you can't get the Havana Club, try it. I've not tried it yet, but the Bacardi version might taste close. This is a 7-year version, and it's got a much better taste than the other one, which is probably 3 years or less. And I do get a lot of that tobacco taste. Don't really taste that tobacco so much in the drinks, but the aging on this gives it a very good taste, and I think that you'd really enjoy it if you can get a hold of this. If you know anyone traveling anywhere outside of the United States, you can get this, because everywhere else in the world you can get the Cuban rum, but for the United States. I wish they would change that, but they haven't. Otherwise, try to get this. If not this, probably the Bacardi version of Havana Club is going to be the closest. See if you can get an aged version of that. I think that they have an aged version. And try these cocktails. These are actually very good, especially the one with the honey syrup or honey water. If you can get a hold of the this is Skinny Syrups, Jordan's Skinny Syrups, honey cinnamon. This works really well in a lot of drinks, so definitely you should get a hold of this if you're worried about carbs. And coconut water doesn't have a lot of carbs, has a little bit, so you're pretty low on your carbs here. Only on the one with coconut water, it's only a couple of carbs, and the other one, I don't think there was anything. If you use the sugar-free, yeah, there's nothing in that. If you're using the sugar-free syrup, if you're using real honey, especially at a 2-to-1 ratio, then you're going to get quite a bit of carbs from that. So that, but honey is better for you than sugar, of course, but definitely there are some carbs to worry about. Anyway, that's it. And I do hope that you will tell me what you think of these, if you can get a hold of this rum or not, or use the Bacardi version and make these cocktails, and tell me what you think. But also like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Definitely comment and let me know so I can find out whether you like this video or other videos that I've done, what you'd like to see, what you'd like to see different. Anything that you can provide in constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. Helps me to do more. So definitely one thing that I didn't talk about at the beginning of the video, and I wanted to, is the shirt that I'm wearing. This is from a YouTube channel called The Angry Astronaut. The Angry Astronaut is somebody who I think he originated in the United States. I think he moved to England or Great Britain. But he does a lot of stuff with space, looking at things going on in the space industry. He's just an entertaining person. This shirt, he did a few weeks where he was doing different topics, and he was selling different shirts depending on those topics, and depending upon which shirt sold the most, that was the one that he would do a full week of episodes on. And this one was the one that hopefully I'll get it put up here, but it was from the Alien Week. So that's not what he normally concentrates on, but interesting subject. But it, to me, is the one shirt that looked the best. So I bought this. If you want to give them try them out, just look for the link in the description, as well as the cocktail recipes and some other information, and check his channel out. Give him a like as well, and help him out. Again, that's it for this week, and I do hope that you will come back for the next episode, and have a great week, and be very safe.